Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I think I've covered the globe in that statement. And hope this finds you doing well on what is, for me, a Friday. A Friday where I get to spend time with some friends who I haven't gotten to see, including my good friend Lightning Bliss.
Lightning Bliss. Oh my gosh, where?
Right. Well, might have to, look down. Might be a little short. But I am.
Excuse me.
No, you're excused.
Or,
do you have gas?
or maybe you're just too tall. Maybe you're just too tall.
No, it's the air in my head just making me hover a little higher. Full of the hot airs. But Lizzie, how are you doing?
All things considered, doing all right. Going a little stir crazy, staying in my apartment for this whole malware issue. Have a terrible, horrible craving for wanting to go to the beach.
Well, I can resist that only because I live in a landlocked state.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not an option.
Nope. Mm. And apologies if I'm eating. I'm actually eating dinner right now.
Hey, no worries. We all have to keep the energy up, and well, I'll be enjoying a later dinner later. Later dinner later. Ooh, can you say that three
dinner
times?
later, dinner.
Later dinner later. But in the meantime, we've got art things to do, and folks in the chat to say hello. So
Hello, chat.
we returned to J Ventus, and no, I haven't learned how to pronounce since last week. Baby steps. But Jay, was very happy with the progress we made, but then I thought, oh crud, I've got to draw wings. Wings.
Oh no!
I have a
Are wings hard for you?
I have a hard enough time drawing hands and feet, and I have those. What am I to do about this? Well, I gave it the old college try. So I sketched out some wings. Also, I took inspiration from, not you, before I got Bodykun. He's right there. Hello. No,
Hello.
I took inspiration from a Boyd. Let's see. I believe this is a Griffin Vulture.
Looks like it. Maybe. Yeah, refresh
And yes,
the thingy.
And yes, Adobe stock. I was cheap. I saved the preview. I gotta save money in all the right places.
It's fine. I'm not judging. It's good to have references. Visual references are good. I always approve of the visual references.
Also, a shout out to Black Rose Darkflame for following. Much appreciated.
Ah, and I see a Sweetie Bloom's in the chat. Hello, Sweetie Bloom.
Oh, Sweetie Bloom. It's always good to have you. Yes, a Boyd. Let's see. I know my friend Trinary is in the chat as well.
Oh, sweet. I'm munching. Munch.
Who mentions, why don't I swim in the Great Salt Lake? Because I don't live near it. I'd have to cross state lines. And it's true, I could be salty on my own. Thank you very much. But perhaps I'm just... Oh, and I hear a puppy. Puppy!
That would be our neighbor's dog. Yes, he's making himself very well known. I am grateful that he doesn't make himself well known in the mornings, because that's when I need to record.
I also have... This will come in later as we work on the leopards. Well, I believe he's a jaguar. Yes, jaguar. But I have some spots. Can you spot the spots in this picture?
I can spot the spots.
Excellent. I'll get to show you all a little trick I have for, well, working with, these are all what they call raster images. They're a bunch of little tiny dots, all close together. You can see, in print, they're just their resolution, but here, it's pixels. So you can see all the pixelation. This makes for a terrible vector. It probably makes for even worse video. This looks like my high school projects.
It is a little spotty.
Hey, well done, yes. Applause.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning, but I'm getting there.
Oh, but I'm filled with such the pride. If I had any more pride, I'd be a lion.
Oh! Yep, I'm in for a long stream.
So, Black Rose Dark Flame, my new follower, thank you again. What am I drawing? Well, in honor of people who support me on Patreon, I have reward tiers, but I fell behind in fulfilling them. Hence, I started Fulfillment Friday, where it's sort of to make myself get on track. Sometimes you gotta stop looking for the time to do things and make it. Case in point, I made it so he doesn't look like he has a weird beard. As near as I can tell, yes, that's neck fluff, not a beard. A beard would be going along there. So Jay's character. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I could tell. I was just saying I could tell. It's neck fluff.
Well, I was, even as we were ending the stream last week, I was like, I'm going to move that down next week. But Jay's character is a Jaguar Quetzal hybrid anthro, which I'm sure there's a smarter way to say that. I don't know what it is. And he asked for a drawing of his character in flight. And so I did some thinking about angles. And I used Bodycoon, a figure you can buy from Japan. Although, truth be told, you can also get them at Barnes & Noble. Yep. It's this wonderfully posable figure based on the Revoltech line. Which, when I say it that way, it sounds like it's something disgusting. But no, it's very posable figures. And with the aid of a smartphone, you can actually sketch out, a loose shape. This is how I usually do things. There's a whale sona from a previous stream. And then you make with the vectoring. Ta-ta! And it's been...
Clever.
Honestly, I don't draw anthros very often, so this has been a learning experience for me.
No, the thing is that it's a good thing you're getting into it. And I'm saying this because I'm a huge hypocrite. I am finally getting into that as well. Ooh. And, well, when it comes to anthro or furry, which, however you call it, apparently that form of art is super big. And the fact that you're doing a griffin, even though, I mean, I technically would classify this as a bird anthro. The fact that you're doing a bird is really going to get noticed in the anthro furry community, because apparently bird artists, excuse me, are very hard to find, according to Aeon and friends that are into furries and what have you, because apparently a lot of people don't like the wings and they don't like the beaks, and I will admit I struggle with beaks a lot. Surprisingly, beaks can be, I mean, my inner animation teacher lessons have been telling me, keep it simple, keep it round, and don't look at it as complicated as you think it is. But I don't know what it is. Beaks are just so hard for me.
In my case, it's everything that's attached to the beak that's annoying.
Fair enough. But no, if you showcase that you can do anthro and furry, especially birds, you're going to get a lot of commissions.
Oh my. I'll have to keep that in mind for the future. Although, would you say that people flock to bird artists? Or do they just wing it?
I think they fly. They just fly to them. And that was very poorly done. I am not a pun. I am not an ad-lib person. I have never studied in comedy. So, yeah, at this point, I am literally winging it.
Well done. No, you did it. You say you haven't studied puns, but you deliver that wonderfully.
I rip off of you, and who else does it really well? That'd be Jasper does it pretty good.
Anthony C does it really well.
Oh, yes.
AC Race Best and Saber Spark. And Black Griffin,
Yep.
To be sure.
Sadly, I don't listen to Black Griffin. Well, I have some of his songs, I'm not going to lie. I do listen to Black Griffin, but I sadly don't listen to him or Anthony C very often, but probably because I'm just more entranced with my own work at the moment. But I'll take your word for it. I think Tarek Dragon does it pretty well, too. And oh boy, when these two get together,
The puns, they fly like a Boyd. Okay, I'm not.
They
I,
fly like a plague.
I'm not anywhere near a New York accent, and I'm pretty sure that no one would mistake that. But I do love saying it that way, Boyd. Actually, I'm not even sure what accent that would be.
Not sure.
If someone says New Jersey, they'd be like, "Oh no, I've been turnpiked."
Oh, and yes, I see there's a voice in the chat. I see a Mad Munchkin in the chat. Hello. Hello. And my brain died. Hello, brain. Come back.
I'll let it take a vacation. We trust me. After a while, you never miss it. Why is this not adding an?
No, I needed to speak.
There we go.
I needed to speak with. Okay, here we go. But yes, sorry, people. I am not ignoring you in the chat. I'm kind of entranced by what Silver is working on in the stream. I am literally watching his stream right now.
Oh, well, I people enjoy seeing me work. This is meant to be fun.
Yeah, I like to see how other people do their artwork and see if I can't learn new ways to either simplify things for myself or learn new ways to do color and shading, what have you, because I tend to overcomplicate my styles.
Well, that's something I'm debating. I mean, this is much more detailed. What part of this commission is that this fellow will be flying over Ponyville. I think it's a fellow, but I shouldn't assume.
Oh.
But that raised the question. Ponyville is not typically full of shading. Beyond, basic. So I'm not sure if I should include shading with this character. I think we'll see once I get the final piece put together. But I'll show you all a little trick I do.
Yeah. It would save you time without the shading. But, artist choice.
Well, okay. We've got a thing here where we've got the green and the white. And usually, in this artwork, I believe he has blackish gray lines. I'm doing the MLP style of where you color the lines reflect the character's tone. So,
right.
What am I to do with this wing? I will tell you. First, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to duplicate it. Ha! It's duplicated, can't you tell? No. The answer is no. Watch, I took it away.
Yeah.
So, if you told me you can, either your powers of perception far exceed my own, or you're a liar. But here, duplicated looks kind of like a really messed up musical note at the moment.
Maddie says duplicate.
Duplicated. The often imitated but never duplicated.
Duplicate.
But while I'm doing this, there is a question in the chat that I think would be fun. Josh Brony, who is apparently train/pilot, a question to you, Blissy. Would you ever want to have a competition between the two of us?
What competition you broke off?
Well, it doesn't specify. A competition. Could we compete to see who could come up with a better competition?
Compete for the best competition idea. Well, oh, darn it. See, well, we kind of compete for who could troll each other the best, even though I argue I don't really troll Silver. I just try to destroy him. He's the troller.
Yes, I invoke that destruction. Fully admit.
Yes.
I embrace it even. People say, you have a problem. And they're like, yeah. But just to show off.
But I would... Oh.
So this is just what I do. I duplicate, I mask part of it out so it's invisible. And thus, I get a nice duotone without a line cutting through. And this applies a bit to an obsessive side of me, a perfectly seamless transition between the colors.
But if I were to be serious about a competition that we could do one day when we're not busy.
In the year 3000.
Big snark. I wouldn't call this a competition, more like a friendly, more just like a friendly who could draw each other the best.
Ooh. Now that would be fun.
I like the idea. You know, do it. Draw. I will draw Silver-Quill in my style, and he draws Blissey in his style, and not no show style, no showboating, no showboating.
Yes, yes, excellent. I'm
getting
so
there.
proud.
No showboating. We're not shipping this. Oh no! It's happening.
It's happening. Yes, you're giving in to punning, and if I play my cards right, even the shipping.
Oh no! I am so sorry, chat. I hang around with some devilish, horrible people sometimes. Anyway,
Yes, I'm one of them. Tee-hee.
It's my only regret with you, Silver, is that we don't get to hang out a whole lot because our schedules do not allow it.
No, I'm afraid even when we're at the same convention, we are running hither and thither. Listen, you've come into your own as a vendor with your artwork. And
I'm scared of that, but yes.
nothing to be scared of. You do a fine job. I mean, I don't know if anything will top my experience last year at Windy City, wondering why my LEDs wouldn't sell, and then everyone looking at me kind of funny, like, "Wait, you're selling those?" I think you were there for that. And I know Keyframe and Chugglebug was there.
Story time.
Yes.
Oh, I want to tell the story. I love this story.
Ooh, tell the story.
Okay, this was definitely Windy City. Yes, Windy City. Gosh, it was cold there. But then again, I'm a Southern pony, so that's to be expected. But yes, we were all having. We were at one of Chicago's more famous diners, I guess you could say. Where did we get pizza or hamburgers? Okay, not important. Anyway. We're having a conversation. Yes, I was there. Silver, Keyframe, Chuggle. I think Luximus was also there. Anyway, we were all talking about how we were doing vending wise, and I think me and Chrissy, Keyframe, sorry, both agreed that it was not the con for us. It's not that it was a bad con, just vending wise. Maybe it was just too early in the season. But anyway, Silver-Quill. Bless his fuzzy little heart. You said you couldn't for the life of you understand why your LED stands were not selling. And I kind of just dumbfounded looked at him and said, "Wait, those were for sale?" Everybody busted out laughing, including you. I remember that. And then you said, "Yes, they are for sale. What am I doing wrong?" And it's okay. You had maybe 2 of those on. No, 3. You had 3 on your table. I think one of them might have been lit up.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as I knew, those were for display, not for selling. I thought that they were just to attract people to your table because they were a dazzling display. It's like, come here, come to my table, check what I got. No, I had no idea those were for sale. So that's what made it so funny.
I think I howled with laughter for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I thought you almost. I think we all did. So I ended up asking, "Where'd you put the price tags?" He says, "You said they were on the stands." And I'm like, "Okay, that's your problem. Nobody's looking at the stands. They're looking at the light show." And then I asked, "Do you have more of them? That might help." And then I ended up buying one from you.
You were very kind to do so.
And I still have it, and I still use it at my table. Huzzah. If people want to buy his LED stands, you know where to look for them now. Oh, apparently Sweetie got a text about this story. Question for Lightning Bliss. I am well aware of your, let's use this word, refusal to use this word cute, but how do you feel about cinnamon, like adorable or precious?
Cinnamon-adorable? Does that mean
I can't read?
You look good in a movie?
How do I feel about adorable or how does Lightning Bliss the character feel about adorable or precious?
Ah.
Um, I would say it depends on the tone and who is saying it.
What if it's Twist saying, "Aw, she's so precious"?
I think she'd get rather annoyed.
Well, is it the lisp or the words? Because with Twist, it's a dark path. It's a
It's
twisting,
again,
turning.
it's really hard to say, and she has a chip on her shoulder, and as far as she's concerned, too many beings have kind of been condescending about calling her those words. Now, don't get me wrong, folks. Me as a person, as a human being, I don't mind the words at all. My husband calls me his cute little American all the time. It's another way of saying I love you for us. And I like the words. They're kind, they're sweet, and as long as they're used without being condescending, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just Lightning Bliss, the character, has a chip on her shoulder. She has self-esteem issues, I think is the problem. Oh, so again, it would depend on who's saying it and the tone, and probably the situation overall will determine whether or not she'll get angry or she'll just flat out ignore it or miss it. Because I've had moments where people will say cute little or short tempered, and she'll just flat out not even notice because she's focused on the situation.
The situation is situation.
Yes.
Although I finally remember, I think, was it Nightmare Nights the first time I got to meet you in person, and we did a little skit where Lightning Bliss, the character, made it known I was not to call her cute.
That was TF2.
It was TF2. Well, I'm thinking this was even earlier. Like, I held the plushie and you did the voice, and I was shaking it. People would later comment, it looks like I was trying to control my laughter, which means I'm really not a great actor in emoting.
I'm not sure I remember that. I just remember the first time our characters ever met. It was when Bliss was first introduced as the Blue Heavy. And basically, your character, really just nonchalant, you were at the wrong place at the wrong time. Saying, "Oh, hey, cute stuff, kind of short for a pony, aren't you?"
Yes, which honestly now I hear those words like, wow, that sounds incredibly disrespectful. I'm surprised you didn't pull the trigger. Do it.
I almost did, remember?
Yes.
But it was the tone. The tone wasn't. I mean, and I guess when I look back on it, oh yeah, I guess it kind of was. But your tone wasn't malicious, so.
Nope, just completely oblivious. Also, wrong place, wrong time. I think you just summarized my character's existence.
Am I going to PonyCon 2020? Which one?
PonyCon. Well, there is a. Oh, wait, Mid-Air Pony Fair is this weekend, but no, wait, PonyCon Online. Man, I get the names mixed up. I'm bad at this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've had people been asking me on Twitter a few times. I unfortunately have not registered a online table with them, and quite honestly, I'm running out of Prance cards, which have been a huge hit at my table thus far. So I feel it best not to risk it and just try to order more from Sky Railroad. Shout out to him, by the way. Great work. Order some more rainbow cards and probably try to complete the set because it's currently I have an odd number. I have 3. I need to make it 4. Eesh.
Oh, but three is the harmonious number. Although, wait, that requires a force, a counterforce, and a harmonizing element.
Ayo.
So there's you, there's Twink. What's the harmonizing element?
So I currently have Twink, Euphoria, and Thunderblight.
Ah, there you go. Well, actually, there you go. Omitting Twink for a moment, as he represents the larger world, you've got Euphoria, which is positivity and sort of life, but then there's Blight, who's also negativity and more aggressive, which sometimes you need to call upon. And in the middle is Lightning Bliss, the compromise between these two extremes, and the harmonizing force.
I I would like to get your opinion on that because Sky suggested that instead of Lightning Bliss being a YouTuber Prance card, that she just be her own card and join My Little Rainbow edition.
Well, yeah.
I thought about it, but people were buying her when she was a YouTuber card, and I'm worried that if I do that, I don't know. I'm making mountains out of ant hills or something.
Personally, I think it's a clever idea because it's great that we post on YouTube, that we get to share thoughts on YouTube, but YouTube is not defining. You are an artist. You've done a lot. You are a creative in many respects. So I don't think anyone would think, how do I put this? You're not diminished if you don't immediately associate with YouTube. You are the artist, video editor, TF2, Skittle-colored death.
Skittle-colored death. I love it.
I believe Silver-Quill has probably thought that, oh no, here comes the Skittle-colored death. And I just called her cute. Why do I do this to myself?
Oh, and to Sophia or everybody else in the chat who are curious, I'm not giving away my coloring books. I am selling them, though. I just currently still haven't figured out a website yet. So I apologize for that. Hopefully at some point I'll figure it out someday. But yes, I still do have coloring books, and I do intend to sell them at some point.
Marvelous.
Yeah.
I
don't want to dwell too much on commission stuff, but yeah.
Yes, online presence sales are still very foreign. Setting things up, it's not an easy thing.
Yeah, I've seen Fiora the Tank Girl, Salmon Lion. They're all able to do it. I think even Keyframe's been able to do it, and I'm just sitting here going, "How are you doing this? Show me the way."
Oh, I have to invoke it now. Do you know the way?
Do you know the way?
Yes. Someone get me a red echidna, which for some reason can't glide. Real life, they can't glide. I do not recommend throwing in echidna to find this out because that would be animal cruelty. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. That's right.
What things that what things that get you mad sometime or all the time, Lightning Bliss? For me in general, as the person, what gets me mad? Oh, that's kind of deep. I don't want to. You know what? Anger is kind of a really heavy emotion for me because it's physically uncomfortable later on. So I prefer not to get angry where I can. Annoyances, sure. I bet I can. I'm not going to say what makes me angry, but I will say if I allow things that bother me. Oh, bless you. If I allow things to get to me, bother me, and I don't vent about it to friends or family, it can become quite literally explosive, hence Thunderblight. Thunderblight is a true representation of something I do not like about myself, and that is an explosive anger. And sometimes I lash at the wrong people as a result. So, the fact that Thunderblight hurts my friends, which is kind of a representation that, yes, I have gotten angry at my friends, and they did not deserve it. Simply because wrong place, wrong time, or I didn't talk about my problem well enough, or what have you. So it's not something I'm proud of, but I'm glad I'm able to express it through a fictional character like Thunderblight, at least. So
I understand.
Kind of makes me wonder, what would Silver-Quill do if Thunderblight ran into Silver-Quill?
Well, let's see here. Thunderblight is great. Features a lot of gray tone. So first thing my character would probably do is look for Murky and Lurky to see how they bamboozled you.
He noticed it. Yes.
Giddy,
I noticed one of it.
if I ever get to review the Rainbow Road Trip, that special that was done in the Toon Boom style, I probably point they're the first culprits, the first suspects in who stole the color.
I loved that movie, and I loved what they did, and yeah, it sent me back to my Rainbow Bride days. I'm like, you ripped off Thunderblight. You ripped off not Thunderblight. You ripped off Rainbow Bride, and I love you.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Yep.
Ooh, but bad artwork is not. I am not staying true to this person's design. Let's extend these a little. These are mighty wings. I mean, they
are.
I think at full extension they'd run the length of the character's body. Which then again, okay, I am no physicist. I don't know the aerodynamics, but I would imagine the muscles needed to lift that body mass would be amazingly strong. Put most bodybuilders to shame.
I can't imagine the physics it would take to get a character that top heavy off the ground, unless they had the bone design of a bird. But even then, they're still a rather large being. I'm going to assume they're human sized. Still takes a lot to get off the ground.
Though Fiara had an interesting theory at one of her Ponies in Physics. She expressed the idea that ponies are, let's see, we humans are carbon-based, but ponies, I think, are silicone-based? I think I'm getting the wrong material here. But basically a material that allows... I would have to double-check with her. Basically, Fiara's smarter than I am, so, you know.
Fiora is a science major, and she's got PhDs in science.
Science. That'd be great. We would love to congratulate you on your PhD in the science. You are the first student to graduate with all the science ever.
Oh. And hopefully you are making your way to your new home very soon. If you're watching this VR, safe travels.
Oh, I'm being corrected. It is silicon, not silicone.
Sha-la-la, la-la-la, it's a silicone word.
Oh, I know that. Eiffel 65.
Yeah. I could be wrong about the PhD part, but I know she's got quite a few degrees in science, so yeah, don't quote me on the PhD part.
Hey, I know she's smart enough that I wouldn't doubt it. But, shoot. Oh, yes. Talking about science actually just makes me remember a story from when I got a certification during a brief time in legal. And we were at this graduation, and for some reason they had all the various schools at this ceremony, and one that kept coming up was mortuary sciences. It was like, really? And it just kept coming up. Oh, so-and-so, they're graduating in mortuary science. Yada, yada, in mortuary science. Mortuary science. And it's like, wow, people are really dying to learn this. Yes, I told that story just to set up that pun, but my gosh, it's like of all the sciences, when you hear it, you think, yeah, it makes total sense that exists. But in day-to-day life, I would never even consider it.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, yeah.
Oh, this is I just see a good question for the both of us.
Yes.
Silver-Quill and Lightning Bliss, are your OCs essentially you in Pony Hippogriff form, or did you give them separate personalities?
My character is rooted in my own thoughts and feelings, but I dial them up to an extreme. And then there are things like the aggressive fanboy. That's definitely more just for the fun of it. I would not intentionally harass someone like that in real life. Unless I was like really good friends with them.
Yeah, a lot of people, not a lot of people, but a few fans have been under the impression, whoever poked me about our fights on our war on Twitter, what have you, seem to miss the fact that we're just having fun with each other.
Oh, yes, I get giddy when we're doing those.
Oh yeah. I'm in real life. I can tell y'all right now, Silver-Quill is the biggest teddy bear you will ever meet.
Oh, wait, am I like Teddy Ruxpin? Because that thing was creepy.
Or
Calm down.
Teddy Roosevelt. Hello.
Bully.
I don't know how he does what he does on the fly with ad-libbing and his jokes, but
Well, the truth is, I tried a little improv in college, but I never inhaled.
yeah, he's not. He doesn't intentionally go out of his way to make me angry or to make the character Lightning Bliss angry. He's just having fun. He's not out to get Blissy or anybody. He's just having fun. So, yeah. As for my character, I would say Lightning Bliss is a part of my personality. She's not all of it, and she's definitely an exaggeration of excitement, joy, anger, frustration, sadness. Really, if I could compare her to myself in any format, she is me having fun and basically living in the situations I write down or provide or get ideas for. And when you're a fictional character that can do all these things, it's great setup for how I would react to that situation. Oh wow, look, I just made a rainbow in the sky. That's not a proper reaction to that. Holy cow, I made a rainbow in the sky. This is awesome.
Oh, but could you make a double rainbow? What does it mean?
Ask me what it means. Ask me what it means. See, that's another thing about my character, though, that I never noticed until Midnight Sonata, aka Katie Patterson, pointed this out, because she was giving me lessons about how to properly fix my, I think you call it a diagram, to help me sing better, because I wanted to be a better singer. I love singing. I'm not great at it, but I love singing. And she happened to mention that I noticed that you don't talk like you do on your videos like you do in real life. I'm like, oh, I don't? What do you mean? She's like, well, you're talking to me right now, like I'm talking to Silver right now in my normal tone, my normal casual voice. But apparently when I play Lightning Bliss, I have it in my head that I need to exaggerate all my lines to express happiness, normality, joy, anger, what have you. So, excuse me. When I do eventually read lines, I'm trying to think of some lines here. Here's a good example. When Lightning Bliss confronts Silver-Quill in TF2 when she becomes the Heavy, call me cute, I dare you. Call me cute right now. That's my normal voice, but obviously that doesn't sound very angry, does it?
No, it's more no nonsense.
So apparently when I do exaggerate, I apparently talk through my nose and not my throat. I never noticed it before, but you can hear the difference when I do. Call me cute! I dare you. Call me cute. One more time. It's just interesting. It's so fun. I was learning about myself listening to Midnight Sonata.
Well, that's marvelous.
And I will never make you sing again. I apologize for that.
Oh no. I've never had training in singing, so it's an undeveloped ability. But yes, we did a song when Christmas comes to town, and the general consensus was, Bliss, please don't ever have Silver sing again.
I thought it was. I mean, yeah. In his defense, guys, he's never really heard that song before. When I asked him to sing it, it's not a popular Christmas carol. It's not like oh Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree. No, this was from a movie, one of my favorite Christmas movies, and I just had this vision of Silver-Quill having a rough Christmas and Bliss wanting to cheer him up because I thought it was just super adorable, and all we had to do was sing. Apparently, that's harder than even I thought. Not just for you, but for me as well.
Well, if people could be saying to Silver, you had one job! Sing like you want to win! One job! One job. Unemployed now. No.
No! No, 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 no.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You did your best under the circumstances.
Your best. Winners losers say they did their best. Winners are out dating the prom queen. And yes, I'm randomly invoking Sean Connery. In a Michael Bay movie, I just realized, oh, I feel dirty.
Oh my.
I guess this was before Bay went full Bay.
Mbe.
Yes, Bay. Bay. Honestly,
Mbe.
I'm harsh because I'm a Transformers fan and I don't agree with how the movies played out.
Oh my goodness. And apologies, folks, if I miss your questions. I can only read so fast. I also have ADD and a processing disorder. Isn't that fun?
Well, I saw a question earlier I'd like to pose to you. What are your thoughts on the upcoming King Kong versus Godzilla?
Oh, that's going to be fun. I really hope it's going to be fun. Well, so
follow-up question, Team Kong or Team Godzilla?
I love my country. I love the West, but Godzilla is the god and king of monsters. I'm sorry, Kong, you're going to get owned. And let's be real here. The original King Kong was probably, 50 feet at most originally, at the stop-motion version? Now, over the past few redos of the character King Kong, he actually had grown in size. Today, though, based off the movie Skull Island, Kong is about up to Godzilla's knees at this point. He's still a teenager, and they still need to beef him up. But originally, though, Kong was never that big. The original design of him was never that big. The fact they're getting him to go up against Godzilla, yeah, they're gonna have to beef him up. But also, I have to just point out the obvious. He clearly bleeds. He has fur. He has flesh. Going up against Atomic Breath. Yeah, my money's on Godzilla.
Although it also speaks to why King Kong could be a good ruler, because you know the old saying, if it bleeds, it leads.
Heyo.
Heyo.
Heyo. Heyo. Okay. That's fair. But, yeah, money's on Godzilla. I'm sorry. Godzilla's been around oh, wait, no, that's a lot. That's not true. Kong's been around for a while. When was the first King Kong movie?
I think the first Kong movie actually came out before Godzilla.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because the first Godzilla black and white was 1959? I think. Don't quote me on that.
Well, here.
But yeah.
Let me hit y'all with an odd bit of trivia. I remember reading in a Godzilla book, because I too am an avid Godzilla fan. When Godzilla was first released, reviews said he made King Kong look like a hamster. And that has always stuck with me, because Godzilla was an even greater force than Kong. Kong could be brought low by the weapons of mankind. It took more than a fair bit of doing, but it could be done. Not so with Godzilla. You had to go to duper science.
Atomic bombs wouldn't take him out, and what do you call those? The oxygen destroyer weapon? That wouldn't take him out. It almost did, but it didn't.
Flippin' bubbles!
And yes, thank you, Chet, for correcting this. So apparently the first Godzilla was 1956 or 1954, and the first Kong was 1933. So, okay, Kong has a one-up on age, and that's about it.
Nice. Oh, also, I don't think I said hello to Voice of Reason. Good to see you again, Voice. We've
Yes,
we've
hello, voice.
we've been adopting your human malware as your predictions came true. Let's see here. There was also an earlier question from Amazing Gumball. Pardon me as I scroll back in the chat real quick.
Uh-huh.
Let's see here. Battle shit. I appreciate when people tag me because this bright orange indicator lets me know.
Yes.
It's helpful, but gosh darn it, Gumball, if you wouldn't, I know I've said in the past not to repeat your questions, but I'm having trouble finding it. If you could fire it off one more time, I'd be grateful.
Yeah. Fire up again. One more time.
I mean, how do I put this? Asking the question again and again can be aggressive, but if you're invited, I think you're literally invited.
I mean, yeah, I don't like it when people respam the question. I also don't like it when people threaten me to answer their question. I've been seeing a little bit of that in the chat. Come on, guys, be nice. Play nice. Play nice. Hey.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see you there.
Let's see.
Hopefully he did disappear.
Oh, well, if not, I'll hunt it down. Maybe you can answer on the Twitters.
Yes.
But honestly, I'm thinking now, and I'm going to say this aloud just so I can establish copyright. I think we should work on getting shirts, Team Kong and Team Godzilla. We'll see what sells out first.
Oh, you want to make shirts?
Why? I actually know a really cool guy here in town. He runs a shirt business. I need to see how he's been doing. But think about it. I mean, if we could somehow get away with Team Edward and Team Jacob, Team Kong and Team Godzilla or Team Zilla. God.
No, don't use Zilla.
Oh,
do not.
Oh no, that's an insult from the 90s, isn't it?
Oh, very much so, sir.
Okay, no, all right, too bad. It sounded cute in the moment, but now I remember the horrible truth.
No, Toho bought rights to the design of the 1998 Godzilla, renamed it Zilla, just so it would be destroyed in one of their next movies. I think it was Godzilla All Out Monsters Attack.
Oh, Final War.
Was it? I keep confusing the two. Darn it.
I remember that because it was probably the most metal of Godzilla movies, and that's in a series with a literal Mecha Godzilla.
It was awesome, and I will admit it was very cathartic to see Zilla get destroyed.
There was also that great line. I heard that Godzilla attacked Japan. Well, the Americans are claiming so, but we have our doubts.
I think somebody just boldly did state that didn't Godzilla attack New York at one point, and they said, well, the Americans claim, but no, our research says it was another monster entirely. Like they just flat out denied that was Godzilla, and you know what? I respect you, Toho. I'm not gonna. That is your creature. Respect. I do not want to step on Toho's feet at all. Because then they'll stop making good Godzilla movies.
Well, okay. I'm curious, but what was your opinion on Shin Godzilla?
Okay. It's okay, let me get my thoughts in order. To be honest, I actually did enjoy it, but I can agree that the whole time me and my husband were kind of banging our heads against the wall. Get on with it!
Yes,
now, I know what the point was to the movie. The point to the movie was basically to recap the fact that Japan suffered a terrible, horrible devastation in their country with, the tsunami and then one of their nuclear plants. Basically, it was like Chernobyl all over again, except in Japan. And the movie was reflecting how the Japanese government took too long to act with the problem. Basically, that's what Shin Godzilla was representing. So, while I understood this, and that's why I don't want to heavily criticize the movie for this, because that's what that was the whole point. It was paying tribute to the fact that Japan made a mistake. And And that mistake was their government dilly-dallied too much on what should we do now? What should we do now? Okay, this just happened. What should we do now? And the movie reflects that constantly. Just constantly. And for an average moviegoer, that's really annoying. And it could get really boring, really tedious, frustrating. We want to see Godzilla. We want to see Godzilla. Why are we showing the politics and the government talking about what's going wrong? We want to see Godzilla. And we finally do get to see him through various different forms, and they are flat out creepy.
Yes, the eyes especially.
Oh gosh, the eyes. But I kind of liked it. Not because of the creep factor itself, just I kind of would expect to see something very unusual and not normal, because this is essentially a sea creature that's been mutated by radiation. And so the fact that the eyes looked almost like fish eyes or doll eyes, it made sense since it came from the sea. Not to mention its fire breath. Good gracious, I have never seen so much damage from just a single breath of atomic fire before. So I would recommend the movie for any Godzilla fan. But if you're an average moviegoer and you don't have patience, I would not recommend it.
Personally, I drove my friends Just a Little Batty beforehand. I was like, guys, why are we just going to see Godzilla's Shin? What about the rest of him? And my friends, being more passionate about Japanese culture, of course, corrected me heavily, which just made me misquote it even more. Because that's how I roll. Mine is a...
Oh, okay. Looks like Amazing Gumball finally got back to us.
Ah, Gumball. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yes,
Okay. Hey, Silver-Quill, question for Lightning Bliss. Oh. Okay. Have you heard of Death Battles? If so, have you seen the one between Godzilla and Gamera?
I have.
P.S. Bring back Baby Blissy for future videos. Never!
Oh, come on. Why not?
That would imply that I turned myself into a baby on purpose. Why would I do that?
You could always have, like, an inner child, photos, time displacement. Ooh, a Lightning Bliss magic lesson where she accidentally transports herself from the past and has to take care of herself.
Oh no, that would be an undertaking. Oof. But in regards to the question, I don't really watch that channel. Is that a channel? A Death Battle?
Death Battle, what is part of Screw Attack now? It's hosted by Rooster Teeth, produced by Rooster Teeth. I don't know if Screw Attack, I'm not sure if it's still operational. I get it, it's hard to keep up. But
I don't.
It's ongoing.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't really watch it that much, just personally because I mean, I get that they're fun and they do really good job with their effects and imagery and whatnot. I still feel like those kind of things are biased. And I just prefer to watch my own styles. Besides, there is a movie of Godzilla versus Gamera. Believe that was it was one of the anti-hero Godzillas with Anguirus involved and alien cockroaches.
Wait, yeah, that was Godzilla versus Gigan.
Oh, Godzilla! Oh, good grief! Gamera's the space turtle.
Yes, Gamera is really neat. Gamera is filled with meat. We believe in Gamera.
And yes, I did see that battle. I remember now because my husband wanted me to watch it because he thought it'd be fun. And no surprise, Godzilla won.
Yes, I don't even think that's a spoiler. That was one case where I fully agreed with Death Battle. I loved the Gamera movies for their cheese and just the idea was cool. But Gamera's always been on a lower scale, I guess is the best way to put it. And I'll take the pun. Turtle scale, Godzilla scale. But Gamera just fights in a different style. Godzilla is much more brute force overpowering.
While there are different versions of Godzilla, like he's the anti-hero, or he's an animal, or he's just a force of nature, or he's a flat-out villain, I personally just like him being a force of nature. There go. No debate. Gamera didn't stand a chance.
I will say, I think the only time Godzilla could ever be... Okay, 3 times Godzilla could be called a hero. Godzilla versus Hedorah, the smog monster. Godzilla versus Gigan, where the villains even create a tower of Godzilla with a death ray. And then
yeah.
Godzilla versus Megalon, if only for that scene where he shakes hands with the robot Jaguar.
Yeah, I remember watching that episode. Oh, gosh. Was that an episode where he did a tail drop kick?
It is. It's also the one where he did a flying kick. And it was...
Oh, good grief.
it was immortalized through Mystery Science Theater, if nothing else. But you saw that and it's like, what? It's hilarious, but what?
So my only disappointment, though, with the recent American Godzilla movies, but hey, there's still hope. I'm still holding out. I want to see Anguirus.
There's always the possibility.
He was technically my second favorite monster next to Godzilla, or he rivaled with Ghidorah, because I loved Ghidorah's design too. But no, I loved Anguirus for the fact of his sound that he made. It sounded like a whale. And I just love the sound he makes.
Also,
also the fine tail kick, yeah.
Hopefully she's already offline and asleep, but I saw Mad Munchkin saying I need to go to bed. Good night, everybody. So rest well, Maddie. Now actually do go to bed.
She won't. Knowing her, she won't.
I mean, what was it? Yeah, last week I was messaging with her after a stream, and I said, "Oh, it's great to hear from you, but go to bed." And she said, "Ha, I'm already in bed, so nyeh." And it's like, curses, she found the loophole.
Yeah, she found the loophole. Also, voice, yes, Destroyer!
Oh, Destroyer?
I love that. Destroyer!
Destroyer. It's like Alien.
I love saying the name.
Destroyer.
I just love saying the name. That's like not only was he an amazing, terrifying foe for Godzilla, but the name, Destroyer! It's so much fun to answer, or say, not answer.
Why am I?
I do. Sorry, Priest on Cox. I do not watch VeggieTales, though I did in the past.
Although
okay.
You're making me think of Walter White right now. Say my name, Destroyer.
No. You have to say it. You have to say it with feeling. Destroyer.
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 I had no idea we would get into a Godzilla rant, but then I realized, wait, it's Silver-Quill. He loves this stuff.
I do. I still remember Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla was the first one I ever saw. And I just thought it was cool. When my classmates found out about it, they gave me no end of grief because they thought it was stupid, because kids are cruel. But
yes.
But it's funny. In my head, I know at the time it was a guy in a rubber suit, but imagination makes it real. And I think you kind of have to have an imagination to really get why people, which might explain a few of my classmates too. So born with a crippling lack of imagination. So sad.
No. I mean, again, this is a very sentimental love that I have for the series, because it's something me and my father I grew up with my father on this. I would literally, 7-year-old me would sit on his belly and we just binge watch a marathon of Godzilla on the Sci-Fi Channel. Oh, the Sci-Fi Channel. I miss that channel. But yeah, I remember, we watched Godzilla versus Mega Godzilla. Mega Godzilla. Anguirus was involved with that one, I believe, and I remember I was crying because Godzilla was badly beaten up. And I was just crying my little eyes out, and my dad's like, "What's wrong?" And it's like, "He's hurting him." I didn't like seeing blood. I did not like seeing Godzilla bleed because he doesn't bleed. It's Godzilla.
I don't know.
He's not supposed to bleed.
Oh, Godzilla versus Gigan. That's probably the most he ever bled. It was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, I cried so much at that. Oh yeah. Sue me, I'm a wimp, folks.
No, you're not a wimp for caring about folks. Although, or giant monsters, kaiju. Although, I'll tell you true, there was a Gamera finale movie. I forget the exact title. It's basically one big clip show of all his fights with these superheroes who live in a purse. And at the end, Gamera sacrifices his life to stop an approaching alien vessel. And I actually felt kind of bummed for the rest of the day. I didn't know the Gamera reboots were on the way. There was a question earlier, have you ever played Godzilla video games? And I'll tell you all true, I played a Godzilla game on the original NES.
Is it the one with the puzzle pieces, and then most of the time you just walk across the screen destroying things as you go?
I didn't say I played a good Godzilla game.
Is that the one?
You guessed it.
I mean, that's the one I know the most that's on the NES, but I never played it.
There was also a brief turn-based strategy. Well, there was a turn-based strategy game, but I'm not really good at RTS. I don't have. Personally, I think that's a game that flows best on a PC, where you have a mouse and the ability to select quickly and with ease. But on NES and the like, it just wouldn't translate well. But I'm sure that gamers can provide a multitude of examples of how that's incorrect. But Godzilla, I've played Godzilla games, and it's hard to translate it. In all honesty, part of me feels like the one Godzilla style game people haven't tried yet that they should. You're a civilian in a kaiju attack, a big sandbox world. There's this giant monster stomping around. Debris is a very real factor. What could you do with a character in that setting? You're not the kaiju, because controlling the kaiju, I actually think, diminishes them in some way.
Oh, so like a survival game where you are a human character and maybe you're just trying to get out of the city.
Trying to get out of the city, trying to... maybe it's more than one monster attacking, therefore your actions are limited by where they are in relation to one another. Do they fight? Do some retreat? Are there... Okay. I was excited for Cloverfield, and I'm not as critical of it as other people, but I like the idea of smaller creatures sort of falling off the bigger one, like parasites, like an unintentional invasion. I don't know if you saw Cloverfield. It was a very different style of kaiju movie.
I'll be honest, I got really sick watching it.
Oh, the found footage.
Yeah, the constant shaking camera didn't sit well with me. And I've watched similar movies like that, like the Blair Witch Project and what have you. And I mean, I get there's an art to that. I respect it, and I respect some people like movies like that. But stop shaking the camera, please.
Yeah. 2 gaming questions come as a result of this from Gojalion91. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Are you talking about City Shrouded in Shadow? I'm not familiar with that, so I will have to look that up later. But also, did I play Rampage? Which, yes, I did. My brother...
Oh, so did I.
Did you ever make a pact with the other player not to eat their character if they were, reduced to human?
Nope. That was the best part.
My brother and I made such pacts and broke them regularly.
Oh no, me and my siblings were ruthless with each other when it came to video games. Games like that, or Super Mario Kart, oof. Or even Street Fighter 2. I remember I would fight over my sister for which character I wanted to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 2 for me and my brother is our strategy was simple: sweep kick, sweep kick, sweep kick, sweep kick. I do believe we would be considered trolls by modern standards.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in addition to Rampage, there was on the Super NES King of the Monsters, which featured a Godzilla-like creature, but obviously, but for copyright reasons, you couldn't have a Godzilla.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. But it was you were just a character on a screen. You didn't ever really feel, I think, like a giant monster. It's very, but I think a survival horror game set in a giant kaiju attack would be fascinating because it really drives home. You know, we always see the protagonists trying to understand, thwart, or drive off the monster. What about General Joe Q. Public? Who's just, you have no idea why, you have no idea what is going on, you just know that there is sound and fury and very tangible fear.
No, I guess I think I would play that. I mean, for instance, if it's a horror, if especially it's a horror in the horror genre, like Alien Isolation, I would be into that.
Yeah. Now, granted, because of the sheer scale of the creatures, I don't know how they'd pull that off.
Yeah, that'd be the hard part. Usually, games like Amnesia or Alien Isolation, it's usually focused on there is a single creature that is hunting for you, and you don't have a weapon normally, or any means to defend yourself other than to run and hide. How do you pull that off with a kaiju monster flick, or monster invasion?
Cloverfield.
Well, yeah, we mentioned Cloverfield. That was Aeon of Dreams.
Literally Cloverfield.
I guess just the idea of maybe you're trying to escape a building while there's literally a monster tearing through it, and you have limited time to get out.
Or you could
That
see
could be scary.
or the psychological effects. I mean, you could imagine people becoming downright cultish in the midst of a monster attack. Some believe divine punishment. Some believe appealing to a deity to save them. That could be, who's the real monster? Oh wait, there it is.
Right.
It's stepping on me. Ow.
Ow, ow.
There's an anthology of giant monster stories out there that I read, and a very big part of it was exploring the religious zeal as a creature was destroying England. In the same story as a story of a retired giant robot and its crew coming back for one last ride.
Oh.
So, ideas. I'm thinking aloud. Also, Jonah asking in the chat, doesn't sweeping the leg make you the villain from the Karate Kid? Or it makes me the star of Cobra Kai?
Yes. Someone's requesting you try sounding like Squidward from SpongeBob.
Oh. SpongeBob! No, wait, no, Squidward, no, he's the depressed one. I hate you so much, SpongeBob. Why are you in my life? Is that even close?
Kind of. Maybe if you help your nose.
How about now?
Get in there.
I think I'm pitching a booger. Ow. It's like
Ooh, owie.
it's like a razor blade.
SpongeBob, I have no time for your games.
I invested some time in drawing this wing, but I don't think it looks that good.
The one on the left?
Yeah, this one. It's just not. It looks more like it's broken.
I actually kind of like it. I think it just needs more feathers poking out further down.
Extend these a little bit more.
like the bleh, near the base of the wing, maybe just add a few more feathers.
Ah, okay. Let's see here. We'll see.
I don't think it looks broken though.
Just well, I guess with wings, I look for a certain symmetry to convey flight. Right now, it looks like where you got two different poses. Weird idea. I'm just gonna experiment real quick. If I were to have, well, that doesn't work either because that doesn't match the angle of the body. Nah, this is the challenge of wings.
Yeah, I honestly don't have issues with it though, but
Actually, I think I know a fix. But first, as you say, more of the wingy dang.
the wingy ding ding ding, the wingy ding ding ding. Question for me apparently. Okay, in my perspective, is this a question? Okay, in my perspective, why does it seem like you and Aeon have a thing for each other? Well, we're really good friends.
Hello.
And he is, in fact, our roommate, so we've gotten to know each other pretty well over the past couple of years.
Though
I think it started from a copyright dispute.
I'm sorry, it started from a what?
What was that?
And I think our friendship started because of a copyright dispute.
Yep, that is right. Yeah, long story short, how me and Aeon became friends was people kept asking me about how do you become a Brony reviewer, and I really liked his video on it, and I took too much inspiration from it.
Go on.
So when I made my own, yeah, and what ended up happening is Aeon was very civil with me, and he came up and he said, "Hey, I feel like you might have copied nearly word for word of my video. Is there a way we can negotiate how to fix this?" And I busted out crying. I felt like a terrible, horrible person. I immediately deleted the video. It no longer exists. It has not existed since he and I talked about it. This was years ago, by the way. And it's something I learned that just because you like something doesn't mean you should copy it. And, well, that's kind of how we became friends. I honestly thought he was going to be angry with me and, put a strike on my channel, which he would have every right to do, because I did mess up, and I openly admit that I made a terrible, bad mistake. Please don't repeat what I did. It's not smart. And I made it abundantly clear to him that I was sorry. And he honestly thought, "Are you okay? Do you need a hug?" And I'm like, no, I'm fine, I'm sorry. And then he, instead of being upset with me, he suggested, "Hey, why don't we do a recap on my video then?" And that's what we did. And ever since then, we've been the bestest of friends.
So proof that a momentary conflict does not yield a lifelong grudge.
Exactly. I see Jasper has a question.
Oh, Jasper, I didn't know the Pizza Pony was here. Hello, Jasper.
Hello, Uncle Jasper. Lightning Bliss, did you eat the last brownie from the company fridge? What brownie? I don't know what brownie you're talking about. Well, you got nothing on me. Go away. It was the big bird.
I see. I see. You want to inspect my beak for brownie crumbs? Because I actually had that for dessert last night. Dang it.
Oh, oh gosh.
Lies
I
in
think
delicious
someone-
slender.
Oh, somebody's asking you a question. What's your favorite Power Ranger series?
Well, I confess, probably Mighty Morphin because I was there at the dawn of the Morphinomenal.
Same.
So that one, I mean, I felt really upset when the Green Ranger lost his powers. He was like the coolest, and he was just gone. And well, so it invoked more of an emotional response than it probably had any right. But there you are. I keep a loose eye on Power Rangers, but it will always be the Mighty Morphin era. It was my interest, and also probably the first time I really tapped into a fad that caught everyone by surprise. No one, I think, questioned like Transformers when it gained a popular following. That was the goal entirely. But Power Rangers, I think no one expected that. No one saw it coming. Except maybe a select few toy stores that stocked up in advance and made money hand over fist. They were sold out for weeks, months maybe.
Was this a series that catered to toys? Because I didn't know that.
What, Power Rangers? Well,
Yeah.
at the time, I think really everyone, they had the Rangers, obviously, but it was always the Megazords. Everybody wanted the Megazords. Giant combining robots. That combination of words is going to release dopamine in just the right fan's mind. And they'd be like, I want the giant robot. Can I has the giant robots? Jasper knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now...
I'll admit I never really got into Power Rangers until later on in my adulthood, surprisingly. Just because I think I was still in that mindset as a kid that that's for boys, ew. But as I got older, I actually admire the choreography and the silly stunts, the silly lines, and even the robots. They're guys in suits, but hey, they're well designed.
They are.
It's just cheesy fun, and I love it.
Oh, and I see 2 follow-up comments. Zodia195 thought that Power Rangers copied the original Voltron. During a video, I helped put together clips for a friend at anime convention, and as they show the Voltron combination scene, which I can still quote verbatim, I put the subtitle, "The Original Teenagers with Attitude." And the other follow-up question is, what's your favorite Super Sentai? I haven't seen as much of Super Sentai as it's like now, what, 40 seasons in? But Gokaiger was probably one of my favorites. Favorite Gokaiger was the green Doc Hakase.
Ah, okay.
So he funny enough, he was, if you ever see a picture of him, he's inspired by one of the Doctor Who doctors.
Okay.
So,
I am not a Whovian.
well, it would behoove you to know.
I thought I saw... Yeah, Greyheart Labs asked, had either one of us, you or me, have seen any good Netflix series lately?
Gosh, I haven't been able to catch up. I know She-Ra's the talk of the town these days.
Haven't really bothered with it. I will admit, I have seen Beastars. I binged watched it, and I honestly thought it was good. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's definitely not for kids. But it was interesting. And I admired the anime behind it, the artwork behind it. It was really well done. I think that's what caught my eye the most was the animation. But kind of typical of me. If I'm not sold on the animation, then I'm not going to be into the show. Good example, Yu-Gi-Oh! Hate that style of animation. Do not like. Hurts my eyes. Moving on.
Not gonna do it.
That'll do. That'll do.
That'll do. Gosh, I only saw a few episodes of The Dragon Prince, but that looked impressive. I should give that further watching.
Okay.
But if animation is the thing, from what I understand, it starts off a bit herky-jerky, but in later seasons they really nail the animation, and the quality just shoots up immensely.
Oh, okay. Thunder Chaser asks, Lightning, what is your favorite class other than the heavy? Oh, Pyro. Easily. Pyro.
Really? Because sometimes I say to myself, man, I wish I had actually opted to be the Pyro.
I mean, actually playing the game, I mean, the easiest class for me to play, and obviously the most fun for me, and because I am a huge fan of Terminator 2 specifically, I want the minigun. Give me the minigun. I am gonna mow people down. Mwahaha. But second easiest class for me, I realized, was the pyro, and they cause just as much as destruction, in my opinion. So yeah, give me a flamethrower any day. I'll have fun with it. Especially if it's rainbow color, that'll be fun.
Ooh, rainbow colored flames. That'd be something. Oh, it's delightfully burning. I'm in so much pain right now, but it's so pretty. What does it mean?
It's so pretty.
Pretty colors. Ow. Ow. Ow.
The Amazing Gumball asks, for the both of us, do you two and the others plan to attend BabsCon in San Francisco for next year?
I plan on it. I mean, it's always hard. I don't even know what I'll be doing next week sometimes. But BabsCon was the first convention I ever went to. I have very fond memories of it. I think very highly of the people there. So, yeah, I definitely want to go back. I was sorry. BabsCon line was really well done and a good opportunity to keep the spirit going. But in my eyes, nothing beats the real thing.
Yeah. I definitely plan on going back. I mean, I'm going to have to rework my nerve back up to host my panel, because I remember don't get me wrong, I am sad that the con had to be canceled for human malware, but I am terrified of hosting my own panel. I got to be honest. I've only done it once, and even then, actually doing it alone for the first time is rather nerve-wracking for me. There we go.
Well, but if I may, getting to see you and the others talking at, well, it was BabsCon line. Sherry, the Sister of Social panel?
Oh, yeah, but again, it's one of those where I'm not a lone situation, so I'm okay.
Well, I probably... No, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
Oh, you're okay. It's just one of those where I am the host. I am the primary talker. I'm in charge of what happens on it. I'm in charge of the topic. I don't like I get really tense up, stage fright, leadership role. Yeah. It's hard to explain. Gosh, I'm just getting nervous thinking about it. But what really has helped me to try and get over it is the fact that so many people have been telling me how badly they wanted me to host this panel, and that they want to see me host the panel. And you know what? That's nice. That's really nice. That just tells me that apparently I have, yeah. It's nice to have support there.
Oh, and I guarantee you would have it at the panel. You'd be on the stage, but you would not be alone. We'd be rooting for you. We'd all be in the seats. If you want, I'll bring a giant foam hand. Number 1, Blissy.
Oh, guarantee you, I'm probably gonna snatch a friend, to just sit with me at the panel, just so I'll feel a little more secure.
Oh, sure.
Because I'm a wimp.
No. It's not wimpness.
And Bliss and Silver-Quill, is the shipping war over?
Certain elements have run their course, but you know, if the ship presents itself, I'll christen it. I'll throw a bottle of champagne. You might need to duck.
We found new ways to torture each other without having to use shipping jokes. I mean, Silver-Quill's definitely gotten creative in the past, so...
Yes. Yes, I must ever expand my arsenal.
Yes. And I like making those silly videos where I just mishmash favorite clips from some of my favorite films together and just paste our faces on them. Now, some may say that's just lazy editing. I'm like, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be amazing editing. It's meant to be funny jokes.
And it is fun.
I don't take it seriously. Where are you?
Oh,
We're not Josh Scorcher. We don't take things seriously.
Ah, she beat me to it by half a second.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Champ to Stay is wondering, have you seen OKKO Let's Be Heroes, Thomas and Friends, or SpongeBob's Mimic Madness? I got to give a short answer here because I sadly haven't seen any of those.
Same. I'm in the same boat.
Sorry.
Don't ship it.
I don't even know what it is. I will ship it with the caveat of I need more information lest something terrible happen.
Oh, goodness. Something's going on next door. I hope it's nothing serious.
Oh, well.
Sorry, I hope that's not being heard.
No, well, I hear some shouting, but I know it's not what. So we'll just hope
Nor do I.
everyone's doing okay. That's the hope.
Oh, door's locked. Should
Doors
be. Yes.
Excellent. Let's see here. So let's group this wing. I like this wing. I think it is a fine unfold. I'm just going to keep this off to the side. A lot of my pony vectors, I have like wings and hooves off to the side, just different poses. I really should create like a pose library. Because that way I could...
personally... Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That way I could be a legit poser.
I mean, just in my personal opinion, I think the first one you did looked a lot better. Looks more smooth.
This one?
The one you put at the top.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, the one that's
that one.
furthest away.
Yeah.
I guess I just maybe I'm just having a very strong need for symmetry at the moment.
That's fine.
Although maybe, just maybe.
Art is subjective.
But this is the eternal quest to get things just right.
Yes.
Although, let's also try one other thing. I want to shift... We've got about another half hour, and I realize I've been drawing the wings this whole time.
Uh-oh.
Call it a wing and a prayer. But I want to show my trick with the leopard spots, too. So,
Yes.
what we're going to do is we're going to make a solid shape. Boom. Don't worry, the wings beneath are the feathers beneath are still there. And maybe this is just one case where a little bit of a gradient wouldn't be a bad thing. All I gotta do is make this opacity 0. Error. And now I fiddle with it.
There you go.
I need my angle. Angle of attack. Not quite that far. Yes. Maybe not pure black either. Opacity of like 60%. Drag it up. Yep. Whoop. There we go. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. I feel a little bit better.
There you go. He's good.
Good. I still want, like, okay, here's my thinking. On this griffin, this wing must, help if I zoom in a little, this joint here, this is a very strong muscle mass right there. Waiting for the stream to catch up with me just a little. But if I scroll up to the void, I'm going to develop a habit of that. That, I see the wing muscle there. I'm wondering if I just move the apex of this crest up a little and maybe not have a sharper connection with the wing muscle at the, well, just below what would appear to be the shoulder blades. Maybe that would work. Maybe.
I think it will. I mean, I typically tend to make the muscle at the base of the wing that's attached nearest to the shoulder blade, I tend to make it bigger just to imply that, yeah, there's muscle there. And needs to be extra thick.
Extra thick. Oh, super thick. But let's shift, because one of the things is he has these delightful spots. And
Spot on, by Joe.
yes, quiet. Pip pip.
Quiet.
But drawing each and every one of those, I'm sorry, but if you think me drawing wings for an hour and a half is too much, so I'm gonna cheat just a little. This is one of the. This is something that Illustrator does that I didn't know about at first, but actually can be helpful or painful. This is the live trace, so it's gonna look at this image, all of these little pixels, and it's going to try to extrapolate a black and white image. I could do full color, but all I really need is the spots. So black and white. This will be black. This will be white, and I'm going to ignore white. Preview. Aha! Now if I just expand the image, they are paths. They are actually editable paths. And
Ooh.
this is a very handy thing. This has been my little cheat for like texturing and well, maybe black and white line work that I want to color. The thing is, like, okay, here's an example. Our feathered friend here. If I tried to live trace him, let's say, ooh, maybe I could get rid of that Adobe stock by live tracing. No good is that, because even with a full array of high corners, high paths, low noise, this is going to tax my computer for just a little bit. This is what you get. It's kind of stylistic. It's almost like, I'd almost call it stained glass. But that is what, that's the best Illustrator can do. So it has limits. But for something as simple as developing a spotted pattern, it's actually quite handy. And let's see, I'm just going to take a big swath. Whoa. I'm going to ungroup this swath. And I'm going to copy these guys. Ha!
Do it.
Yes, Emperor Palpatine. Or is it Senator Palpatine? Do it.
Do it. But yes, I forget that you use Adobe Illustrator. I tend to use a much older version of Flash for my show style. But honestly, I just prefer my own style these days because I get to use my tablet. The tablet. The
tablet's on fire? Now, I'm also going to try something.
I think I was quoting a Men in Black movie.
The tablet. I guess I need I need to rewatch Men in Black. I never saw Men in Black International, but the original Men in Black. And then the animated series.
Oh, I liked the animated series. I think they did one where they were investigating like aliens that were actual real aliens but they were actors for a movie. They just happened to be real aliens for like playing in horror or monster movies. That was one of my favorite episodes where they were investigating what happened to two actors that were actually aliens. Apparently they were kidnapped and they were trying to find out where they went.
Ooh.
And they basically got assistance from a retired alien actor. And I couldn't help but think, oh my gosh, they are representing aliens if he looked like an alien, but he's an actual alien. And it's complicated.
I always liked the Men in Black episodes with Alpha.
Alpha.
He was, within the cartoon series at least, let's start with Mesh. Am I doing this right? He was basically Kay's mentor.
Oh, right. Okay.
I don't know why. I learned about this this mesh warp. I wonder if my Illustrator's out of date. Learned about this at work today, but it's not working the way I want. So let's just go back. There's a couple of ways to distort this. But
Probably just need to play with it.
Yep. But yeah, Agent Alpha was one of the founding members of the Men in Black, but somewhere along the line, he became so enamored with alien physiology and the power they had. He gained a hold of a device that allowed him to take parts from aliens and integrate them into his own body. And he would become this horrific Frankenstein mishmash. And to be honest, I've always kind of liked the Frankenstein-like creatures. But he always brought on a very personal element because, well, Kay was always this super stern guy. Envelope, distort, make with top object. How'd that look? No. Here, I can't afford to go outside the lines so much. But so finding out he had sort of this emotional attachment and a fallen mentor, it's kind of funny when the mentor has a fallen mentor. That adds a new dynamic. It's like, wow, this mentor himself is damaged goods.
Yeah. I'm like so invested in what you're doing right now, and I'm just hoping it will work.
As am I.
Because that'll look so cool when you're done. Come on.
Oh,
I believe.
So stubborn. Let's take away some of the extraneous bits. Like you, and you, and you, and you.
Darn.
Not you. Let's see. We're actually, you're pretty far outside the bounds too. Let's see here.
Oh, that looks like it could work.
So.
Yes, chat. Sorry.
Nope.
Lightning Bliss, are you a fan of Darth Vader? He is one of, I can't remember all the villains I remember being scared of in my youth, but I remember I think he was one of the most iconic villains that I legitimately feared as a kid/teenager. I can't remember when they re-released The Empire Strikes Back. That had to have been in the 90s.
Yes,
and I remember
the special editions.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was not around for when the first release, but when they re-released it, now that was different. And I remember my father dragged me to the movie theater kicking and screaming because my brothers wanted to see it, and I was too young to be left alone. So he told me to tough it out. You're watching it, and I didn't think I was going to like it at all. And then it was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw, and I loved it. And then, of course, when Darth Vader came on the scene, I was terrified.
Oh, well, rightly so.
It was a good terrified, though. And I loved what Rogue One did with this character, too, at the end. It reignited my fear of his character. They literally turned him into a monster out of the dark with a red lightsaber, and it was like, bravo. So yes, I'm a big fan of Vader. Yes.
It's the way he walked through everyone. I mean, guys like General Grievous just couldn't compare. They were like precursors, but no. Although I'll say this, the Tartakovsky Clone Wars cartoon came very close to making Grievous as frightening as Vader more than a decade earlier.
Grievous, I was only terrified of in the cartoons, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Well, part of it is also how effective were they with the music.
Yeah.
Okay. So, or in the Tartakovsky, I think it's Tartakovsky, Clone Wars, this sort of almost psycho dun 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 dun. He sounded like a horror movie, and the way he's just laying into the Jedi as he's fighting with this very unpredictable style. It's like, yes, this is a frightening villain. Then I saw Revenge of the Sith. It's like, so is no one going to get him a lozenge? So,
Did the Emperor scare you as well? Unlike Vader, he has no redeeming traits. Honestly, no. I took one look at the Emperor and thought, oh, you're just a crazy, cynical old man with a vision. A very dangerous vision, yes, but still, he wasn't as scary.
I'm not.
So I probably should have been.
I'm not a cynical old man. Now get off my lawn, punk kids. All right, so, don't know if this is working as well as I'd hoped.
I see what you're doing with it, and I think what's bugging me about it is the hair on the shoulders. That can't be helped.
Well, honestly, I feel like they don't look like spots right now. They look more like blood cells. Let's set this off to the side. Nope. Let's just set that off to the side for a minute. This is part of experimentation. Warps.
Yeah.
Making with warp. Trying to think. It's an inexact science, to say the least. If nothing else, I can just position these. I think it's a little easier to position them than it is to draw them individually. Whoop, but it helps if they're on the top layer, so I can actually see them. Let me just scale them a little. Maybe move the feathers, shorten them. Move the fur, shorten it up. It's like art is a bit like writing. You can't fall in love with your first draft.
Yeah, well, I can tell you right off the bat, I will sometimes do 20, 30, 40 resketches before I finally get satisfied enough to actually do the line work for it.
That demonstrates passion. The passion of the Blissy.
Yes. And sorry, I kept seeing this question popping up, so I apologize for not getting to it sooner. What was my favorite TF2 super form other than my own? That's a toughie. Yeah, I am biased. Hey, it's my opinion. So, I have to say Mad Munchkins, Lion. I am a sucker for big, giant creatures that breathe fire. Flaming kitty.
You're an angry kitty. Oh, I'm thinking of Miraculous Ladybug. Just weird introduction there. I watched the Christmas episode for a review on the MBS show, and it's like, what is going on? Why is he thinking about being a lonely little cat? Let's see. Do either of us play Animal Crossing?
Nope.
Afraid I went the Doom Eternal route. So maybe one day I'll go the opposite direction, but right now Destiny has this short time challenge: kill 1,000 enemies with a shotgun. It's like, can do. Oh, wait, I do have
These days. Oh, there we go. I mean, these days I like to play golf with your friends. It's hilariously infuriating.
Let's see here. Also, favorite Digimon. Bliss, did you watch Digimon?
I did, but I didn't stick with it for too long.
For me, it was Vmon. He had the coolest forms. Also, I am myself biased towards Blue.
It's been so long that I can't remember much of them anymore. I'll admit that I liked the music from Digimon, though.
Or at least the American dub. You run around, I run around. I wonder.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking aloud. The spots on the reference sheet are much bigger than what I've assembled.
Oh yeah. Oh snap.
Oh no, it's okay. This is why I love vectors. It's so much easier. If I were drawing this by paint, like if I was using Photoshop, I think I would be much more frustrated. Partly because you'll have to picture Blazing Saddles. I shoot with this hand. Oh, but wait.
In a weird way, I liked the first take of the spots with the warp effect. just because it looks like it actually is curving with the muscles. But to each your own. I could see how it looks a little wonky too.
Well, here, I made a face.
He made a face.
I made a face. But, actually, we can still do it with the muscles because, well, okay, trying to do the whole thing in one big warp may have been my mistake. What if I just took a group, like right here, group these up, object, envelope, distort, make with the warp, and no, I don't want any Warhammer fans accusing me of heresy. Using the warp.
Whoa.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, I don't...
Okay, that looks really... I like that.
Yeah, so... Yeah, now I can have it trace the muscles a bit better, and maybe with a greater degree of control. Because this guy, I don't mind saying, this guy has been doing bench presses. I mean, the wings are still the most powerful muscles, but hot diggity, fella's been working out. Who ordered the beefcake?
Extra crispy.
Now, I don't know how many Warhammer fans are out there, but I was heartened that, was it Brave Alfasa, who does if the Emperor had a speech-to-text device, he released another Brothers Road Trip, this week. So that was fun to watch.
Yeet.
Actually, I think he uses After Effects to animate his stuff as well. And some folks were telling me about the puppet pin tool in After Effects that I should really learn more about.
I mean, I've heard of people being able to use puppets in After Effects, but I just haven't bothered to look up the tutorial for it. And honestly, in my view, is yes, I do try to look up new ways to make things easier in my artwork. But when it comes to editing, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm that sort.
No, it's a good policy. Mechanics #1 rule.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Now I make the mask. Now this is going to be weird. How do I mask something that's warped? Is this... Okay. Like I warp it. Like I mask anything else. Okay. So the stream of dots.
Silver-Quill and Lightning Bliss, have either of you seen the Pixar movie Onward? If so, what are your thoughts?
That was the last movie I got to see before theaters shut down, and I really enjoyed it. But I don't want to go into detail until I've heard your thoughts, or if you've seen it, Bliss.
I didn't see it in theaters. I did eventually see it on... I was able to rent it, I think. Because of do all the stuff. Oh wow. I didn't think I was gonna like it, I'll be honest. But it surprised me. And I was suddenly identifying with these characters and comparing them to actual friends that we have. Because I feel like, holy cow, this character reminds me of my friend here, and this character reminds me of my other friend. But should I just say spoilers right now? Spoilers?
Spoilers. We can do, I think, light spoilers. This is easily accessible.
Okay. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Cover your ears or look away. The whole point to the movie is these brothers go off to basically revive their father for one day. Because apparently their father passed away due to getting sick. And then eventually the younger brother gives up the opportunity to meet his father for the first time in order to give his older brother a second chance to say goodbye to him. I'm going to try my very best not to get emotional. I do have a lot of attachment to that notion because I lost my father in 2010. August 2010, so in August it will be officially 10 years. And it still hurts because I was 24 when it happened. He wasn't even, he was going to be turning 50 that year, and he was taken too soon. And I felt like for the longest time, people kept asking me, if you could go back in time, what would you change? And a lot of, I'll admit, several times I wanted to say, if I could go back in time, I'd try to save my dad. I would. I really would. If I had the opportunity to see him again, I would. And it would be so hard for me to give up that opportunity if I could see him one more time. And yeah, that movie hit so many emotions for me. If I had the opportunity to see him again, and I only had one chance, would I give that up so that one of my other siblings could see him instead? I have to say that is a huge sacrifice.
So I don't
Yeah.
want. I realize we gave away a pretty big spoiler, but trust me, there's a lot more at play in the movie. So there's, if you haven't seen it and you weren't able to avoid the spoilers, don't worry. There's still a lot to enjoy. So still give it a hearty endorsement. And I too thought I was gonna dislike it. It's like, okay, they're gonna run with the joke. We're gonna see like elves at a Starbucks or something like that. Kind of what Shrek did, but Shrek did it first. And no, it was actually much deeper and more emotionally resonant than I would have expected. But then again, I really shouldn't underestimate Pixar.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they Up is one of the few movies to actually get me to tear up.
Yeah, you're terrible.
I am. But that movie wasn't.
No, that wasn't. That was a very deep movie.
Honestly, the only thing I could fault on it, the only thing I could fault on it is, why are you the same age? He's like 30 years older than you. I know there's living healthy, but come on. Anywho. Let's see here. I saw an earlier question. What is the hardest vector? Okay, what is the easiest and hardest vector you've had to complete it so far?
For you or for me?
For both of us. You first.
Oof.
Oh, she's oofing.
Let me look in my gallery, because I'm sure I can find it. Won't be able to show it, but I can do my golly darnest to describe it.
Or you can throw a link in the chat. I'm sure people will chat there. We'll be able to click on it.
Oh, I could definitely try. It might take me a moment.
Not to worry.
But let's see.
Well, I'll say...
Yes, carry on.
My easiest was probably a bit. Like, literally, a pony bit. Their currency. It's not the most demanding thing. And then when I had to draw, like, a jar full of bits. Well, once you've drawn one vector, you can do a lot more. So, that was kind of a cheat. The hardest was Cloudsdale. Because Cloudsdale has so many swirls. So many swirls. It's like you watching Cloverfield. I was starting to get dizzy from all the swirls. So it's like, oh, if I never have to draw another turf. Oh, I need to draw Ponyville now? I do it because part of me doesn't want to shy from the challenge, but at the same time... I suffer for my art.
Yes, you do. Like we all do. Yes.
You all suffer from my art? I can believe that.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. Oh.
No, I'm twisting your words.
You monster.
I am.
Okay, there we go. Commissions. Okay, DeviantArt Eclipse is getting challenging to navigate these days. All right, let's see here.
I like the song.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness, where do I begin? Oh, it's definitely a vector. I know that much because they said vector, right? Vector, vector, vector. Vector, 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 vector.
Oh, is this a character vector?
This was apparently an OC, and it's very hard to describe it, but it feels like a Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas barfed on it.
Oh.
And it just had so many patterns going on with it that I can't even begin to describe. And it had pony anatomy too. Oh, found it. There it is. Should I just send it to you?
Yeah, you can send it.
I can drop it in the chat.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, if you got the chat pulled up and heady, yes.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna paste it here. Now, I tend to tell my clients, especially when I look at a complicated character like this, that less is more. Less is more. But the client insists on what they wanted, and I am not about to argue or dictate or tell them they're wrong. Because I'm doing a job at the end of the day, and I want them to be happy with it. But this by far was probably one of the most challenging characters I've ever had to pull off.
I can believe it. I know what you mean. Folks often use clothing to help their character be unique, especially in the pony fandom, of which there are so many ponysonas. But I guess from the drawing it perspective, I never thought I'd say it, but someone send on the nudist. Begging your pardon, but we don't normally wear clothes. I was like, oh, how scandalous.
Oh, DeviantArt, where did you put my commission folder? That's what I want to know.
You know, I haven't really had to... Okay, I was so fixated on getting my video out. I haven't gotten to post on DA in a little while. I need to correct that, too. Is Eclipse that frustrating? I'm a little intimidated.
I'm slowly and surely getting used to it, but just when I feel like I finally gotten the hang of it, like right now, see, this is infuriating. I'm in the gallery and I'm looking for my specific folder, which is called commissions. And originally, when I went into that commissions folder, it would tamper out into several more folders of the different style of commissions I've done, from show style to color, soft shade, cell shade, non-pony, etc. But right now, I can't find it, and that's very frustrating. I see my other folders, like my one that focuses on my character or on my fan art I make for my friends, my Brony D&D artwork folder. There's my Patreon folder. There's my TF2 folder. Where's my commission? It's very annoying. Why? Why must you do this, DeviantArt? Why? What did you do to my folder? I shall be very put out.
Well, while we continue this hunt, I'm just going to describe to folks, I'm going to try and make some progress off the air, as I don't want to make you have to sit through me Spotifying this whole thingamajig. Very technical term. What I'm thinking, because looking at this Griffin Vulture, I'm going to try and get an M shape going between the two wings. And I think I can accomplish that if I take these feathers and tighten them up, shorten them, lengthen these feathers, and maybe move the crest of this up a little. So it still has this general curve, but now it mimics a similar motion to its counterpart. Because right now...
I get it.
Right now, it just looks like it's two disparate wings, two different forms. So, and truthfully, I like this one just a bit more. So, that is something I will work to accomplish, and then I can say, hey folks, I'm on a wing and a prayer, but I did it. And then I still need to add a tail. But this guy is coming along well. The body came together well. The wings, it's to be expected that they would demand a lot of attention. Then I should also show...
Yeah.
I should also show the progress I have made on Ponyville, over which this character will be flying. Ponyville. Oh, also, Jasper asked us earlier if we had seen the summary for Pony Life, the first two... I don't know if they'll be like 15-minute episodes in 1.5 hour block, but I did see the plot synopses, and I'm intrigued. I still hear people saying, "Oh, this will be awful," but I will see what the actual episode is like, and then I'll weigh in. I see no reason to be disappointed when nothing's happened.
Yeah, I think that's a fair viewpoint.
So I'm quite happy with how Ponyville is shaping up. Last weekend I managed to add Sweet Apple Acres. So, and switching to wireframe view real quick. This is...
I admire your... I'm just going to want to say this real quick. I admire your patience to go into this amount of detail for a background. I can't stand making backgrounds. I'm going to put that out right now.
Well, part of it's necessity. I'm afraid the vector section of the fan base usually does characters. Backgrounds are hard. So I'm not criticizing, but I'm always grateful when folks take on the challenge of background, because that often means I don't have to. But in this case, I'm going to now be working my way to the right, where, funny enough, I think this one... the introduction of Mudbriar. This is the first time we got to see this little bluff overlooking Ponyville, and what I assume is the Everfree Forest down here.
Oh wow! Whoa! I think you're right.
I could be bluffing, but
I think that's pretty close.
So I'll borrow some tones from daytime shots, but. Yeah, I'll be drawing this and expand just enough outward to get some of these stragglers. I still maintain that Princess Twilight's castle is somewhere over here, just outside the screen. It's maddening.
Where did her castle go? Oh, where could it be?
But I still maintain the poor show staff, they drew the castle from one angle. It's like, I don't want to do this from any other side. It's too pointy. How goes the hunt?
I managed to find it, just not in the way I would have liked. But apparently, in order to find it, I had to basically go into my gallery, list it as not as a list, but a grid, and then it will display all the folders I've created, but my commissions folder is not. So, I like to put folders into folders. So, like, commissions folder, you tap into the folder, and then there is a list of other folders of different types of commissions I've done. Not with this, though. Apparently, that folder's been dismissed, and now just all the commission folders are laid out to be seen.
Huh.
That's a bit of a nitpick, but at least they're not gone. I was actually worried that, oh goodness, did DeviantArt just delete that entire folder and now all my commissions are gone? I'm like, no, that can't be it, because they're still showing up. So, but yeah, I managed to find them, thankfully. It's just I'm kind of Twilight Nanas about this sort of thing. I like to have organization. Yeah, I'm very. I have a list, and I have folders of folders of folders, and I know where everything is at every minute of every time of every day.
Oh, that's good.
Hence Twilight.
Good to
Hence
have that
Twilight
organized.
Nanas.
I think Twilight Nanas would be you were seriously freaking out if they really had taken away. But no, I think you're just very organized, for which I applaud you. I should follow your example.
I assure you, I was internally screaming about not being able to find it, and then I finally found results. And I'm like, okay, I can live with this change. It's not what I wanted, but at least it's somewhat still organized. Everything is still where I think it is. It's just no longer in one folder grouped together anymore. But I can live with that. I can live with that. Hi, guys!
Hi, girls! Okay. Most terrifying moments. It's like, I'm afraid of Twilight Sparkle now.
I related to her so much. In my mind. Hi, guys! Why are you destroying my environment? You're not cleaning the kitchen? Yeah, that's me.
To answer Rustic Rails, yes, I do intend to make this Ponyville background available to anyone who wants to use it. I'll have it up in my DA gallery because there's no reason to keep it to myself. This could benefit a lot of people, I think, and help out.
Oh yeah, I used one of your backgrounds. I did use one of your backgrounds at one point just because I wanted to display Bliss next to all the alicorns. I think it was the porch one.
Oh yes, the royal balcony. I saw that image.
Yeah, royal balcony.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Oh. I think we got time for one more question. I don't want to ask everyone. You've all been kind enough to give 2 hours of your attention. I don't want to ask for too much, but Skeletor 301 asking what joke bit you wanted to do but had to cut for any reason and can't really revisit. Okay, actually, for the most recent one, for review of Point of No Return, I really wanted there's the scene where Twilight and Spike are going to all the silvers in Equestria, including Silver Stream, and I asked, well, hang on, why did they not come to see Silver-Quill? Part of me wanted to have full Alicorn Twilight, actual ruler of Equestria, time jump and all, show up, and Silver's just like, no, it's too late now, no. But that would require, one, drawing that Twilight and animating her mane, and it would have really extended what was already a pretty long production time. So I talked with my friend, the illustrious Q, and he brought up the idea of the flamethrower bit, which I pursued and thought came out pretty funny, but I don't think I can do that time jump. I may yet draw Twilight in her Celestia-like form, but there's what you can do and then what you want to do, and sometimes you gotta let go.
Turn away and slam the door.
Oh, and I've been asked to do an impression of Frollo. Here, I'll show you guys why I shouldn't be allowed to sing. Like fire, hellfire, it's driving me insane. I can try to be dignified, but I don't know if I can get the affectation.
Well, I think there is one joke that I had to cut for my own sanity's sake. Was my magic lesson with Dr. Wolf, where there was the scene where Firebrand attempts to swaddle baby Lightning Bliss, but it clearly doesn't go right, and he underestimates her abilities as an alicorn. She may be a baby, but she's still an alicorn, and Also, the fact that Armel pointed out that she's not a baby, she's a toddler. There is a slight difference. She's not an infant, put it that way. She's not a newborn. So, the ideal joke was that I was actually going to show on screen Firebrand getting swaddled in front of Armel, and then Baby Bliss proceeds to shove a binky in his mouth and then throw him off screen. But that would have taken far too much editing time and complexity on my part. And the episode was already getting too long. I noticed that it was well over 20 minutes, and it was probably one of the longest magic lessons I've done. I still got the same reaction by doing it off screen, and Eliora, Doc, and Thespia watching this all unfold as Lightning Bliss swaddles Firebrand and then throws him. Or Armel watching, at least. Still got the same results. It was still funny. We still get to see Firebrand wrapped up in a blanket with a binky in his mouth. And personally, that was Armel's. She kind of requested that of me. She says, "I want to see Firebrand wrapped up like a baby, please, please. Can you just do that, please?" And I'm like, you know what? Yes.
You're an odd young couple.
But he's going to kill me. I'm like, he's going to kill me later, but it'll be worth it.
Excellent. Alrighty. Well, unfortunately, I think Bliss, I've asked for a lot of your time already, and don't want to overimpose, especially because I think at that point, Sweetie Bloom will be like, "Go to bed! Go to bed!"
It's only 9 for me.
Oh, that's right. You're an hour ahead. I'm still thinking people are 2 hours ahead. But even so, she might still carry out some of Mad Munchkin's lectures on you. But we've made good progress. I mean, okay, wings are tough. I like this wing, but I feel like it's not a good partner to this one. And I think this one implies the idea of lifting more. So
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
But we'll make it work. It's just a matter of time. But Blissy, it's been fun just chatting with you.
Yeah, you too.
I mean, Godzilla, Power Rangers, Men in Black, Pony. We go all over the place. That's what I like about these chats.
Yee. Always fun.
And yes, as Misty Phantom points out, the tail is yet to be drawn. But first, I'm gonna get these wings and these spots nailed down. Then I'll have a tale to tell.
Yeah.
But everyone, I hope you have just a wonderful weekend. Do check out Midair Pony Fair. I believe it. No, Ponyfest Online. I get mixed up on names. But Ponyfest Online is taking place this weekend. It's probably going on right now, and then we'll continue into tomorrow. Give it a look. Support the vendors if you're able and interested. And Bliss, is there anything you'd like to plug before we sign off?
Yes. I will be opening up commissions on DeviantArt really soon when June rolls around. I might even do a special Lightning Bliss birthday sale because that'll be my birthday week. So we'll see. I will also have a new commission guide available that will be featuring the opportunity for you to commission your OC of what they would look like as a TF2 mercenary. So that should be interesting.
Uh-huh.
You're welcome.
And yes, that was suggested by Aeon. He's like, you should totally let people commission you to have their characters dress up like mercenaries from TF2. I'm like, why didn't I think of that long ago?
And so far away. But excellent. Well, look forward to seeing all that.
Yay!
And I believe, Bliss, you just recently published a review video of Hard to Say Anything. So that's over on your channel.
Yes, and people have been shipping me with feather bangs, and quite honestly, I'm not blinking an eye.
Alrighty. Well, like I say, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Be well, be safe, and we will see you again.
Yes.
So,
Bye-bye.
I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching.